Let's take a detailed look at each of the sections of this type of aria, and let's document what we learn about it in a table. Prepare to copy into your notes a 3-line table with just one column in it, like the ones seen above the first podcast screen on 18th century opera. You will need to know every detail of the A section so that you can tell thus how it differs from the A prime section at the end. The plan of the A section should look familiar to you. It is ritornello, solo, etc., ending with a ritornello section. Isn't that the very same plan as a ritornello principal Baroque concerto movement? In fact, it is, and that's why I think of the Da capo aria as being a concerto for the voice. The performing forces needed for each of these two types of sections should seem familiar to you as well. The ritornello sections are played by orchestra and basso continuo, and the solo sections are usually played by or performed by the soloist and basso continuo, exactly as you would find in a typical ritornello principal Baroque concerto movement. The A section of a Da capo aria sets the first of the two stanzas of its text. And as you will see, the stanzas and the text for these compositions are very brief indeed. There is something very Baroque about the B section, and something therefore that is very predictable about it. That is, B is a contrasting section. So if the first section of the aria is animated and fast, the second one might be slow and introspective or differ from it somehow in terms of accompaniment. If the A section is very slow and plaintive, the B section is probably correspondingly animated, and so on. And the B section exists, of course, to set the second of the two brief stanzas of text of a Da capo aria. Now let us catalog the contents of the A prime section and compare them with those of the A section at the beginning of the work. Basically, the singer does the two following things to the repetition of A. First of all, the singer adds ornaments to it. By ornaments, I mean short, fast notes. You know to what I am referring. You have heard people add them to songs when you've heard performances of the Star-Spangled Banner, Amazing Grace, or those songs that you hear contestants singing on talent shows such as American Idol. Also, the singer improvises a cadenza in this section. The resulting plan, ritornello, solo, etc., cadenza, and ending with a ritornello, should look very familiar to you. This is exactly the plan of a ritornello principal Baroque concerto movement, and we saw one like this by J.S. Bach. So we have yet another reason to think of this composition as being a concerto for the voice. It has the same plan as one of those sorts of works does, at least in its A sections. And we now understand why this Da capo composition, that is repeated from the beginning, has A prime at the end rather than A. These two types of additions to it, added ornaments, and the cadenza, make it different from the written form of the work that the singer sang in the first section of this work. Make sure that you know all three sections of this work and that you are able to compare the first section with the last section of it. In fact, we're going to encounter other works of this type that have the plan A, B, A prime, and you'll see that they have something in common with this work that we have just examined.